You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Thursday, January 29th. I'm Johnny Connor. Thanks for listening to Four Things to Know. Let's get to our top story today. There's a new man at the helm of Operation Metro Surge. He says that things are about to change. Frankie McClister was there when border czar Tom Homan spoke on his upcoming plans.
The White House border czar said on repeat right here in our city that he's working to draw down the number of people the feds, have here.
I've been on the ground since Monday to regain law and order in the city beloved by many and work together to remove threats from the community.
Now, Homan made it clear that he didn't come here for photo ops, he said, and he said that the changes in federal strategy won't mean that they're not surrendering the president's immigration enforcement plan. Now, he also added that among strategy changes, they'll be better at coordinating with jails to pick up people as they are released, also sharing all the people that he's met with since he's arrived.
Most important, the governor and the AG, the Mayor Frey, we didn't agree on everything. I didn't expect to agree on anything. I've heard many people want to know why we're talking to people who they don't consider friends to the administration. Bottom line is you can't fix problems if you don't have discussions.
And we've reached out to the mayor's office, governor's office, and the office of the attorney general. Mayor Frey's office responded and said that any drawdown of agents is a step in the right direction. The governor's office also says that we do need a drawdown in federal forces too, and we haven't heard back from the attorney general.
Number 2 today, you may have seen newly released footage of Alex Pretti that reveals a different encounter with federal agents just 11 days before he was killed. In the footage confirmed by his family, which you can watch for yourself right now on our website, Pretti is seen yelling at federal agents in Minneapolis before kicking out a taillight. The agents then get out, tackle Pretti to the ground, and fire tear gas into the crowd. Pretti was able to escape the situation. A representative for the Pretti family says they knew about this incident and that Pretti did sustain injuries. The attorney for the Pretti family said in part, quote, "Nothing that happened a full week before could possibly have justified Alex's killing at the hands of ICE on January 24th, close quote. DHS also says they are reviewing this new video as part of their investigation. Your third thing to know today, she's been a lawmaker for nearly 2 decades. Now she wants to trade Congress for the governor's mansion.
These times call for grit and resilience. I've learned resilience from you. Through it all, you do not give up.
Senator Amy Klobuchar has announced her run for Minnesota governor. She says we need a leader who will be more than a rubber stamp for President Trump. Her announcement focused on the tragedies of the past year, including the recent killings of Pretti and Renee Good at the hands of federal officers. Almost a dozen Republicans are running on the other side for their party's endorsement. And let's get to a second to current Governor Tim Walz. He said in an interview with MS Now that he will never run for an elected office again. This comes after Walz unexpectedly pulled his re-election campaign earlier this month. WCCO has reached out to Walz's office for comment. As of this recording, we have not gotten a response. Number 4, we have an update after a man sprayed apple cider vinegar on Representative Ilhan Omar. It happened Tuesday night at a town hall event in Minneapolis. 55-year-old Anthony Kazmarchak now faces a federal assault charge. Omar was not injured. In an interview with WCCO on Wednesday, Omar said that, quote, "What happened to me is not okay, but they picked the wrong person. I am not one to be intimidated." Omar continued to speak and take questions at the town hall for almost 30 minutes after the incident. The incident comes as U.S. Capitol Police report that the number of threats they're investigating against members of Congress is on the rise. There was a 58% increase in the number of cases from 2024 to 2025. Those are the 4 things to know today. Let's check in on our next weather forecast.
Hey guys, thanks for the meteorologist Adam Del Rosso checking in as high pressure drifts southward from Canada. That is going to keep our quiet and cold stretch going. Temperatures tonight falling back down below zero by a couple of degrees with a slight breeze It's going to make those wind chills drop as low as the teens below zero. So it's still going to be pretty cold here as we get ready to head into our Friday morning. There is going to be more sunshine with us tomorrow, but that only gets us to about 10 for our afternoon high temperature. Wind chills staying below zero. Once we get into the weekend, we notice a little bit more in the way of some milder air, but it's also going to come with some light snow for our day on Sunday.
And now, here's more to know.
Today, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey is in Washington, D.C., pushing for an end to Operation Metro Surge. He is at the U.S. Conference of Mayors to discuss how cities can work together to keep communities safe while also upholding the law. Another story we're following today, sources tell CNN that the DOJ is expecting more resignations over immigration enforcement actions in Minnesota. They say in a recent meeting, U.S. Attorney Daniel Rosen tried to convince prosecutors to get on board with the Trump administration's efforts in Minnesota. Instead, some threatened to resign over concerns the administration's actions may be unlawful. Their staff is already thin. One source says more resignations could decimate the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now to a new message from local leadership as the federal crackdown drags on. They're telling you to shop local and stand together. Governor Walz has labeled February Shop Local Month. Deed Commissioner Matt Varilek says local businesses, especially those connected to immigrant communities, have suffered since the start of the crackdown. Varilek says even the supply chain has been hurt.
We unfortunately can't make all those impacts go away, but one thing we can do is pull together and spend our money in businesses that have been impacted.
Leaders add that buying local is a powerful way you can help support the community. Speaking of buying local, Target has a bullseye on its back and protesters are taking aim. The announcement came outside the Richfield Target, where 2 U.S. citizens and Target employees were detained by ICE. Protesters say they're staging peaceful sit-ins at Target stores across the state. They say they want the homegrown Minnesota business, as they call it, to stand with residents and demand ICE leave the state. Here's more from one of those leaders with Unidos Minnesota, Ulla Nilsson.
This is what tyranny looks like. Let's be clear. What is happening in Minnesota wouldn't be possible without the complicity or enablement of Trump's corporate leaders.
That's right.
To end this siege, we need companies like Target to use their influence and force the administration to end the occupation of Minnesota and shut down ICE.
The protesters also claim that Target lets ICE stage in their parking lots, and they criticized the store for not closing down last Friday in solidarity with the community. Protesters are asking people of other states to join in on the Target sit-in. To a health story we're following, measles has made its first appearance in Minnesota this year. That's according to the Minnesota Department of Health. The first reported case of measles came from exposure within the United States. While measles is rare in Minnesota and even the country in general, it is still a common disease in other parts of the world. Measles can spread easily to unvaccinated people. Currently, the largest measles outbreak in the country in 26 years is happening right now in South Carolina. There, a majority of cases are among the unvaccinated. Let's get to sports headlines. Very, very big game for the Timberwolves tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in town. It's a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals. Tip-off tonight at 8:30. I will say it might be a tough one for the Wolves tonight. Since they played last night, they did get the win in Dallas, but the Thunder had an off night, so the Wolves might be a little tired on their back-to-back. Hockey news, Wild host Calgary tonight, 7 o'clock puck drop. Just 4 Wild games more until the Olympic break. Gopher hockey team in a pretty bad spot right now. Can you believe this? 7 straight losses. This weekend, they're playing a top 10 team for the 3rd straight time, the Wisconsin Badgers. Here's what head coach Bob Motzko has to say about their team needing to start winning some games.
Our guys are sure getting after it, and they're sure trying. And we understand not the results, but it is not from lack of heart and character and effort and trying, and we're getting better. We're looking for traction right now.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
Following the success of the Minnesota Yacht Club Festival, a new summer music festival is coming to St. Paul. The Minnesota Country Club Festival coming to Harriet Island Regional Park. That'll be on July 10th and 11th. The Red Clay Strays and Treaty Oak Revival will headline the inaugural festival. There will also be performances by Jesse Murph, Trampled by Turtles, and the Beach Boys. Pre-sale begins tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm Johnny Connor. This has been 4 Things to Know. We are here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us today. Have a great night. Stay warm. Talk to you tomorrow.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.